When thinking about Switzerland, you automatically hear yodeling, you smell bratwurst, and you picture snowy mountains. Our company has expanded to the beautiful land of Switzerland, and I'm here to inform you on the history and business. Through extensive research on Switzerland, I have gained knowledge needed for our expansion through the Alps. First, I'll give you background information on Switzerland. Second, I'll tell you how to survive when in the country. And last, I'll tell you how business is done with the Swiss. Let's start on some background. Switzerland is a decentralized government, and they have a quote that says, "Unity, yes, and uniformity, no." In the 2015 Culturegram Online World Editions Encyclopedia's entry on Switzerland, the Swiss Confederation is one of the oldest democracies, and it is also bicameral legislation. Switzerland is known for peace, neutrality, and refuge. Their political neutrality is very important to the citizens. That means they're not part of NATO or the EU. Simonetta Sommaruga is the president of Switzerland, and there are big cities that are Geneva, Zurich, and their capital, Bern. Switzerland is a major world power, and they sponsor the Red Cross, peace conferences, and they're also home to the World Trade Organization. Switzerland is well known for their banks. They are believed to be a tax haven, but Switzerland citizens believe strongly in the right to secrecy. A banker and a customer are almost equivalent to a lawyer and a client in the United States. In 2013, the Swiss government said that they could give info on U.S. clients using Swiss banks, but only if the U.S. agreed not to indict any Swiss banks on tax fraud. But later in June of that year, they actually changed their mind, so the bill was not passed. Okay, how are we going to survive as an outsider in Switzerland? First, I would say to pack well. Summers can be 77 degrees, but in the winters, it's pretty fierce at an average of 27 degrees Fahrenheit. The Swiss are in the Alps, so they'll have valleys that are foggy and rainy, so I would suggest bringing a jacket. In Switzerland, it is very easy to get around. Trains, buses, cars are all very accessible in the city. They also have a quote that says, "If people are late, they're either not wearing Swiss watches or not riding Swiss trains." Switzerland has 4 different languages: German, French, Italian, and Romansh. Each canton, or state as we would call it, decides their language. I would highly suggest hiring a translator, as each Swiss businessman can speak 3 to 4 different languages fluently. Some need-to-know phrases for Switzerland would be depending on what language they speak and what canton you're going to. For a German canton, for good day, you would say Guten Tag. Guten Abend is for good evening, Frau means miss, and Er means Mr. For French speaking, you'll say bonjour for good day, bonsoir for good evening, madame for miss, and monsieur for Mr. Switzerland also believes highly in nonverbal gestures. Stretching, yawning, fidgeting, and pointing your index finger to your head are all seen as very rude. Okay, so now that we have some information, let's talk business. The Swiss believe in hard work, thrift, independence, punctuality, and a sense of responsibility in their businesses. Expatica's 2011 Doing Business in Switzerland, Swiss Business Culture article says that businessmen have several protocols. Always make an appointment for a meeting and never just show up. That is also seen as very, very rude. Always arrive early to a meeting. They're a monochromatic society, so they believe highly in their time. And when dressing for your meeting, make sure to dress modestly, clean, and neat. I highly recommend suit and tie. Also, no lavish display of wealth should be done. They see that as very rude. Business cards are very important for the Swiss. When you go to a meeting, make sure to bring several. Drop a business card off at the front desk for their records, and then hand a business card to everyone you meet, not just the person you're meeting with. Make sure to give a firm handshake when you're greeting someone, and always have direct eye contact, no matter if it's a man or a woman. Address them as Mr. or Mrs., Frau or Herr, or Madame or Monsieur, because they are a very professional group of people. Never ask any personal questions. Don't interrupt them when they're speaking, and never give your opinion unless asked for it. Lunch meetings are very typical. And during a dining experience, make sure to keep your hands on the table. That's seen as very mannerful. Always allow a man to pay. That is seen as respectful, and the Swiss people are very old-fashioned. Everyone knows that giving a gift is a good way to win over a business partner, but always in the Swiss culture, make sure to give the gift after a negotiation. Never give an expensive gift, because that could be seen as flattery or bribery. And don't give a gift if one is not given to you. Now I will reiterate my main points. First, I gave you the background on Switzerland, which is very important to know when wanting to understand the culture. Second, I told you how to survive when you arrive in the country of Switzerland. Remember to hire a translator, pack appropriately, and always avoid rude nonverbal gestures. Last, the business practice of Switzerland is very formal. As long as you stay on the conservative side, it'll definitely lead to your success. Good luck on your travels, and Guten Tag.